splendid port, capacity 800 yachts, golden fish of Frank-Gehry, Canadian Frank-Gehry, who designed the Time Museum collection in Bilbao, and did the extension from the Time collection in New York. So we'll take this street name in Marina, that will bring us directly to the marketplace next to Sagrada Familia, and then we'll walk, we'll start walking. Remember, we'll have the same tomorrow here in case you want to spend the day relaxing in the beach, walking in an ice cream or paella. Did you try paella? Yes. Okay. There's good paellas also here in this section. Nice restaurants all around the port on the left-hand side. Minimum for paella is 2 people, remember that. You cannot order for 1 person paella and for the other person steak. Both have to eat paella. Otherwise it doesn't look good for you. On the left-hand side you can see now David and Goliath. Especially Goliath the giant is the white mask. And then from the former factory building is Briggs chimney. Briggs chimney next to the apartments. Here. We find a former chimney from a factory producing soap, industrially soap. But it was all demolished in 1985. In its room, we built up this entire new district with all kind of, comfortable equipment in the inside of the apartments. This one here on the left next to the chimney is especially for blindness, for people who had no possibility of watching and seeing anything. So they had a special equipment in their homes, all braille. You can find a kitchen, they can find everything because it's prepared for them. So handicapped people have special buildings here, and regular people as well, for sure. So the idea of building Sagrada Familia, it was from a bookstore owner. José María Bocabella was the person who, at the end of the 19th century, have seen that a lot of bourgeois people were capable to, do a lot of money in their business, and he thought about maybe asking them some money in order to build a church dedicated to the Holy Family. And everything began 1882. The first stone was placed in 1882 outside of Barcelona because the land was cheaper. Within the city it was really, really expensive, so they were forced to buy a little property outside of Barcelona. Right there, Gaudí was not at that precisely time was not the first architect. He was the second in charge. So he worked up 1883 till his death, 1926. For about 43 years he was capable to design this church that was basically dedicated to the Holy Family. 18 bell towers he planned. 12 for the 12 disciples of Jesus, 4 for the 4 evangelists, and then 4 for Maria and Jesus Christ. Totally 18. But so far only 60% of the total project has been achieved. That means 8 bell towers. 2 facades. One is dedicated to the Nativity, the life of Jesus in general, since he was born throughout his childhood and youth. And the second one is dedicated to the Passion and Death, so basically the 3 last days in the life of Jesus before he was crucified and killed. Then the third facade will be plenty of sculptures representing heaven, hell, and purgatory, the 3 final destinations for every Christian. So basically, these are the contents and the numbers of the bell towers decided by Gaudí. So far, only 8 bell towers are finished and 2 facades. The reason is because while Gaudí was alive, there was not so much financial support. People were not that interested, and after Gaudí's death, we had the Spanish Civil War. So between 1936 and 1939, we stopped working. We had even some damages in the inside, and we had to construct certain areas within the church after the Spanish Civil War. and then wait for a long time till 1950s. At 1950s, we restarted again the project, and we never stopped working till recent days. So basically, we are calculating that year 2026 everything will be finished. It will be the first 100 years anniversary of the death of Gaudi, and therefore also decided to be the final date of completing all the works. Gaudi had all the time in mind representing organic forms. Organic forms are present in nature. Regular trees on the streets, palm trees, or any other kind of tree. They all start with a trunk, and later on, if you look up, you'll find branches. And those branches are ending up in leaves. So that's the idea that Gaudi wanted to represent, like being in a forest more than rather a church. All the columns sustain the 5 naves in the ceilings are looking exactly like trees, with the trunk, the branches, and then those branches ending up in the ceilings. And in the ceilings, mosaics, green color mosaics, are representing the leaves of the tree. We can even see the outdoors light in the inside of the church, thanks to little holes in the ceilings. So, natural outdoor light in the inside of the church, just like being protected by a forest. You have precisely on the right hand side now this enormous building, Akbar Tower, which is designed nowadays, was built by Jean Nouvel, but he did a research about life and works of Antoni Gaudi and found out that in the beginning of the 20th century he was asked by some promoters to build a project in New York, in Manhattan, hotel, so-called attraction, but it was never turning well, so they were refusing it because of the shape itself. So Jean Nouvel found it out and then decided to bring it live here in the city where we find all the major projects of Antoni Gaudi. Like Sagrada Familia, again in front of you. 8 bell towers, 4 in each side. We'll stop, as I mentioned before, three streets away. That's the city town hall policy. We need to stop 3 streets away from Sagrada Familia and walk across those 3 streets. When we cross, you better hurry up, because traffic light changed very quickly, and then you could be in the middle of the street and the cars are starting to run. That's the way we kill Gaudi, you know, and that's the way we are sometimes killing some tourists. So I'm afraid you'll have to run, okay? Don't worry about us, we'll wait for you after the traffic light, you just have to run.
No, ya aviso.
Sí, pero si se ve,
Da igual,
pero si ellas ven que están avisados, ellas mismas.
Sí.
Bueno,
So upon the spot, in the parking place, you may know that we are groups, all of us, stopping in the same places. So in the same places are waiting for us pickpockets, right? So upon the spot, watch your handbags all the time, never leave the group. Okay, this is not like the first stop that we can stop and walk on our own to see the views, make some pictures here. We need to go all together, and also for safety reasons. Cross the streets at the same time, and in order not to get lost, and then come back at the same time all together. Spend like 40 minutes in going around the church. On the right hand side you can see a former brewery. The second one we have in Barcelona. You saw the first one in Plaza de España. Nowadays it's a commercial center. And right here on the right hand side it's still empty. We don't know what to do because bullfighting is forbidden here by law. It was done a couple of years ago.
Antonio, perdona.
Sí,
Dime,
todo
por favor.
recto, todo recto. Ahora mismo ahí.
Sigo recto, ¿no?
Donde está la camioneta blanca te tienes que parar en teoría. Debe de haber espacio para que te aparques.
Y luego os espero aquí detrás.
Y luego nos esperas en este lado, paralelo a la Sagrada Familia, en esta diagonal. Ya verás que la gente aparca ahí y se para ahí para recoger. En la misma calle, un poquito más adelante.
A la misma diagonal, ¿no?
Sí, la misma diagonal, antes del semáforo para dejar, después del semáforo para recoger. Lo que pasa es que también autorizan este lado de la diagonal, este lateral donde estamos nosotros, ahora verás.
O sea que donde está el furgón, ahí
Sí,
te para,
pasado el
¿no?
furgón, donde está el azul, detrás del azul, sí. Debería de haber. Sí,
Ah,
sí
y
que hay.
después aquí nos recogen.
Y luego recoges donde están los otros, a la izquierda.
Vale, muy bien.
Alright, so here's the place where we stop, and the bus will pick up us in 40 minutes, somewhere nearby. Okay, so we need to go all together. We'll be using for sure the whispers all the time.
40 minutos.